name's Ben Cook and welcome to Angling For You.
Hi and welcome to Angling For You. Today you join me at the Oaks Lakes in Sessey and we're on the Alders pond. Now we've got a members day match next week, so me and Craig have decided to come down and sort of give it a little go, see if we can give any advice on how things went for next week, but also to look at a couple of methods. So we'll try and do the two videos today. One will be the new review for the MAP 401 pole, and the other one is going to be maggot feeder fishing. Now a lot of people know how to fish the maggot feeder. There's lots of different maggot feeders out there and they all work upon the same kind of principle. Now what I've done is I've slightly adapted mine into a new way of thinking. So what we'll do is we'll have a look at the setup. I'll show you from distance and then I'll get the GoPro out and we'll have a little bit of a closer look and we'll see how it goes. Right guys, so as you can see my trust is out, the Daiwa Yank Bank 10 foot. It's got a soft action tip on there. Most likely things I'm going for today are silvers with the odd F1s and carp mixed into there, hopefully. What I'm actually fishing with is a 6 pound Daiwa hyper sensor, and it's the feeder itself that's a little bit different. I'm just going to pull a little bit of line out, and it's a normal Drennan 20 gram feeder. And what I've done is Guru have these sort of inserts that they put into their bombs or their quick change feeders and things like that, so that a little bit of a stem. So what I've actually done is I've got it running on a little bit of a twizzled line. I've actually made an opening on the top of the feeder and on the bottom of the feeder to allow me to put one of these Guru sort of tubes through it, and that just allows everything to be in line. Now I've never really seen an inline feeder. I know that it might not make too much difference and but for me it makes it very accurate for casting. It's really good for casting, and obviously everything is in line, so everything's dropping down straight into the upbait. Now I'm not saying you all have to run out and start making them, but it's just something that I've been sort of thinking about for a little bit of time. I thought I'd share it with you guys and we can sort of have a go with it and see if we can catch some fish. So the Hooklink that I've got is about 3 and a half pound sort of mono. I've got that about 12 inches long. We'll start off with. If we need to shorten it down, we'll shorten it down, and it's down to a size 18 maggot hook. And like I said, I'm not fishing for massive fish today, so I think when we fish the members day, what it's going to be about is getting as many consistent silvers as you can get, with the odd sort of F1s and carp thrown in there. So what I would recommend is not always just setting yourself out for the carp, having a plan to catch those silvers. And like I say, if you start catching eyed that are half a pound and skims at half a pound on a constant basis, then you can still put a good weight together. So hence why we're going to give the maggot feeder a go. So it opens up like a normal maggot feeder. You can just slide off the cap like so. So that, as you can see, that exposes the Guru internal tube, which doesn't do anything to the rigidity of the feeder. It's still stiff and strong, especially once you put the lid on. So I'm just going to fill that up with the maggots. We always put the bait on first, because obviously by the time you've done that you get all your maggots everywhere, so you see it just slips on really quick. We're no difference to having any line through it like it normally does. So we're just going to it's only a gentle little cast today, just fishing right up to the island, to this island slash centre row, and we'll just sink that line straight away. And like I mentioned in most of my videos, especially when we're fishing the feeder, is just to sort of sink that line, and there we go. That's straight off the rest. That didn't take any time. It's only a small fish. It's just dropped off, but it just shows you obviously maggots is a good bait to start on. So we're trying to get a little bit of bed down there of bait, because obviously it's only September time. So we've had a bit of rain, but it's not terribly cold yet. Hence me still in a t-shirt. So there we go. Let's get that back out. So obviously a quick bite, check the bait's fine. When I was tightening up, I noticed that it was coming towards me. So there's obviously a few small fish out there. And there we go. And into a fish straight away. And it feels like a skimmer or a silverfish. But it just shows you how accurate that bait's dropping down towards the feed. And we've just got that hook link a little bit longer than normal, just to allow for the fish to not be spooked by the feeder. It's getting a bit cooler. It's a nice little hide, and this is the sort of fish that we're going to be looking at bagging up on when we're fishing the members match. These are the kind of fish, like I was saying to you, that you're able to catch and catch a few of them to create a good weight. So as you can see, these are the sort of fish that you're going to be looking to catch. Lovely hide, and they're the fish that will start making you a really good weight. So let's get that feeder back in and see if we can catch another. Wow, into another fish. That was a fantastic bite again. Absolutely off the rest. Shaking its head just like that other hide, so it may be another hide. It looks like it is, but obviously doing the job, these maggots. Beautiful fish. Another good stamp hide. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying is obviously, let's just hook this one on here and have a look at it. About carp. Carp's a bit funny this time of year, and you don't need to always catch them. If you're catching, I've only had 2 casts. You're catching fish like this on a regular basis, pretty much every cast, or even every sort of 5 minutes. You're going to be getting up at, up for a 40 to 50 pound weight, and people are chasing carp. So it doesn't always mean the correct sort of situation to go for when it goes to fishing this time of year. Sometimes going for a different method that the fish aren't used to, or will respond better to, because it's not, when you fish through the summer in these kind of situations, a lot of people fish pace, a lot of people fish ground baits, a lot of people fish pellets. Sometimes a different bait like maggots, and certainly fishing it in this way with this sort of new style feeder setup can create just a completely different situation. Right guys, so what I thought I'd do is, obviously we've caught a couple of fish. Before I get the GoPro out, I'm going to show you how I go about making these, because probably that's going to work out more beneficial to you to see how to do them and how quick they are to do. So I'm just going to nip down here and we'll zoom in on just like sort of my hands, and I'll try and make it as visible as possible. So what we're starting out with is whatever grammage feeder you want. This is just a 20 gram Kamasan feeder. You can just drain them, whatever. So at the top they've got these little red tags which clips onto the swivel. So just taking the swivel off the top and just remove your lid. So once you remove your lid, just pull out this piece of red. Don't need that anymore. And we're just going to turn the feeder completely upside down. Now, if you're going to do it on the bank side, say for example if you lose a feeder and you need to repair, what you need is just sort of a bait needle or something you're not bothered about eating up, and just a lighter. So all we're just going to do is just heat the tip of this lighter up. It only needs to be enough to just melt the feeder itself. So we've already got a hole on the top one, so that's fine. So that's hot enough now. So all we're going to do is just in the central and just work a little bit of a hole there, and that's it. Just put that down on the floor. So when I was on about the Guru inserts, is what I've used. You could use the ones out, the Jura Banjo feeders or whatever. The Guru ones I like because they're tapered at the bottom, so they've got a slightly larger bottom than they have a top. And again, that's sort of a sort of arrowhead almost insert, so when you're pushing it in, it makes it great, and a taper bit to make it stop it from pulling back through the other end. So obviously that's not going to go in there straight away. So I have a sort of, you could probably do it with a knife, but I prefer scissors, they're a bit easier to control. So what I do is I just work my scissors gently into there, and all I'm doing is just gently working the hole little by little till I get the right size. Now what I would suggest on doing is doing it bit by bit, because once it's too much, then obviously you're going to end up with more difficult process of keeping it nice and snug in there. So just needs a little bit more off. So throwing it on the floor, because obviously it does need to be quite tight to push it in, but we don't want to crack the feeder. So just this little bit of a process now, even though it seems a bit laborious, is essential just to get in the right depth. Yes, you probably could drill it, but the reason I don't drill it is the fact that, as I just said, sometimes feeders can be a bit brittle and you could end up breaking it. So only a little bit more to go, and it'll fit. Sort of this excess plastic here, we can snip that excess plastic off with your scissors. Just trim it down. It doesn't matter too much because your line's not going to touch it, and it's not for we're not going for a beauty pageant. So as you can see now, we've just got the tip of it in, but it's really tight, which is important when we're putting it in. So we want it obviously to be firm, so then it doesn't slide about. So just gently work it in, don't bang it or rag it. So as you can see now, we've got it straight through the centre, and the top bit where you cut off has already got a hole, so we don't need to melt that. So we just follow that same process. All I'll say is with the lid, it's soft plastic, so it'll do it easy, but it needs to be a bit slacker because you need to be able to get that lid on and off when it's on the feeder. So you can go a little bit sort of larger with the hole for the lid, because obviously, like I just said, you need to open it to get your bait in there. So that's just so obviously the lid goes on now, and there you are, your feeder's done. So you push that right up to the bottom, that's there. So you've got that little taper bit, like I said before, because it's tight now, the taper bit, it's not going to go anywhere, and straight through the top, and obviously your line's going to go through there. I'll show you that when it's on the rig itself, and we'll have a feeder bead underneath, and we're absolutely ready to go. And when you want to go fill it up, obviously once you slackened it off a little bit, which I'll do in a second, you'll be able to pull the lid and get the lid off. Obviously it's a bit tight at the moment, so we'll just have to give it a little bit more running with these scissors, but it only takes a couple of seconds to do. So once you've obviously got it to the right diameter on the lid, it'll slide on and off with ease. And like I said before, it's soft material is the top bit, so doesn't take a lot of working. So there you go, slides on and off easy now, but then it just clicks on tight, and there you go, it's absolutely perfect, ready to fish and catch some fish. So let's get back on the rig, we'll get the GoPro on and we can have a look at close up. Right guys, so let's get the rig out and have a look through it. So as you can see now, the rig, the line running through, it can slide up and down the line, and obviously the tube and then the bead below, leaving onto the hook link. So I'll load it up for you, and then we'll get out there and see if we can catch. So to load, just shove the lid out of the way, just as you would do if you got another sort of one that were on a piece of string or anything like that. Give that feeder a load, give it a little shake while the maggots get in there. Close it up as you normally would, just nice and quick and easy. And we'll get it casted out. So just sink that line. There we go. Straight into a fish, no messing about. Straight onto that maggot feeder. It looks like another ride. Just proves how deadly this setup is. This hide can just not resist, and it's the bait's just straight in line, straight down below. Another one of those nice little lights. In the net. Just come out in the net. As you can see, lovely little fish. It's getting back. Reload. See if we can have another one. So again, we'll just get these maggots. I like to use a red and a white. That's just my preference. It's what I always fish. Sometimes go with doubles, but a lot of my fishing, maggot fishing, is done with red and white. So again, hit that clip, sink the line. So we're having a cast now. I had quite a few fish on the bounce already, and it's proving to be a great method. Straight on the same spot. Sink that line quick because you're getting these bites thick and fast. There we go, into another fish. Barely even tightened up there, and the fish are on. It's just brilliant fishing. These eyes must be just sat there waiting for this now. How competitive they are. A lovely fish. Like I said, this won't take no time to bag a good weight up with these fish. Lovely little fish. So I hope this video's been helpful to you. A lot of fun to make it, and obviously a lot of fun sort of finally getting this feeder out and letting people finally see what I've been working on a little bit of time. join us on the Facebook group at Angling For You, and obviously on the Instagram at angling_for_you. Like and subscribe, guys, and thanks a lot. Tie lines.